Hello Internet, welcome to another episode of Queen Geek, where I'll be doing some social commentary on things happening this year. Let's just say 2020 is a very unique year. I don't think we'll actually ever see anything quite like it ever again, hopefully. But it has brought its good and its bad sides as well. And I must say that the US election has by far been one of the most interesting, pivotal points of this year thus far, okay? Short of an alien invasion, I have no idea what's coming next. Okay, so it was Joe Biden versus Trump, okay? And yeah, it's been very interesting. And I don't know, for some strange reason, I mean, like, elections happen all the time around the world at different years. Other countries have got 5-year terms, other countries have got 4-year terms. South Africa's got a 5-year term. But there's something quite, I don't know, juicy and interesting and almost soap opera-like when it comes to US elections. And I think this is the very reason why everybody just gets sucked in and so invested, even if you're not an American citizen. Given the fact that since Donald Trump won in 2016, the US has been super divided. Okay, now, as for me, personally, I don't really stand by Republicans or Democrats, okay? I prefer to think of myself as a free thinker. And sometimes, you know, these political systems also rigged in such a way that, you know, it actually keeps people thinking that they're in charge or not in charge. You know, it gives the average person the illusion that they have some form of control, right? We get to choose our leader. So then, you know, we do the election, which is this really fun event, etc. And whoever wins, then people feel in some way that they've affected some sort of change. But you'll notice, and you know, if you do your research, that largely presidents change very little when it comes to the socio-political landscape or just the world in general, okay? If not at all, most politicians really get elected to just kind of keep things going the way they have been over the last couple of decades or so. But change is incremental, it's very slow. And yeah, so now we've got our first female vice president, Kamala Harris. Woo! Wonderful. Okay, so that's a change. But I like Kamala Harris, but I'm more interested in what she will do in her term as vice president than more so the fact that she's actually made history. I mean, other countries have got female presidents. Ukraine had a very interesting female president. Female prime ministers in New Zealand, etc. Even here in Africa as well, we've had female presidents. I think the current incumbent in Ethiopia right now is female. And the Malawian president is also female. I don't know, that's, you know, right? So female presidency is not something that's actually, you know, all that rare. I know Britain is very matriarchal. I mean, Margaret Thatcher, they're all there. Okay, right. Okay, so, but in America, sadly, it's only something that kind of has happened now. And a lot of people are actually speculating that if Biden, because of his advanced age, seems to be a bit unfit, Kamala could then step in and be acting president. So who knows? It's very interesting, you know. So not only as for Trump, you know, I actually think, as for Trump, I actually don't think Trump should have actually become president at all, okay? He should have just stayed on TV. I liked him on The Apprentice.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah, he was fine there. He was perfect, okay? Because if you're a businessman and a reality TV star, then the standards of sophistications are not so high, okay? And it's okay to be controversial because it's good for TV. But under political and formal settings, not so much, okay? Conspiracy. So, my own personal conspiracy theory as to how Donald Trump became president is he got fired, right? From a TV network for saying really bad stuff about Mexicans and Latino people.
They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. You have illegals that are just pouring across the borders. I was really criticized for the border, but the truth is, it's true. They think it's like Mother Teresa's coming across the border. Well, I said drug dealers, I said killers, and I said rapists. And they made the word rapist. They really picked that up. You have 20 million, 30 million. Nobody knows what it is. It used to be 11 million. Now today I hear it's 11, but I don't think it's 11. I actually heard you probably have 30 million. You have to give them a path, and you have to make it possible for them to succeed. You have to do that. But the bad ones, and there are bad ones, you have to get out, and you have to get them out fast. I've been told by so many Hispanics, Mr. Trump, thank you, sir. Thank you. You have done the right thing. I think I'll do very well with the Hispanic vote.
He figured that, you know what, I'm so sick and tired of answering to like TV network politics and bullshit. You know what, I'm gonna get my own TV network. However, I'm a billionaire, but not that big of a billionaire, you know, if you're to compare him to like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, okay? So he figured that if he ran for president, that would give him more than enough coverage and footage, okay? And controversy as well. I think that's probably part of the reasons why he said those things, you know? He wasn't really aiming to be president. He just wanted to get far enough along in the race that when he loses, then he can actually cut a deal and get his own TV network. And I think perhaps the three-lettered networks. Okay, so now the three-letter networks probably picked up on this, and they were like, this guy's fitting to use his election, okay, as a way to leverage social capital in general to get a TV network. So we're gonna fix him. He thinks he's going to lose. No, we're gonna fix him. We're gonna make him win, okay? And then we'll blame it on the Russians. And that's exactly what happens, okay? So then he got stuck with this job for 4 years, and he figured, you know what, let me make the best out of it. And I was actually really curious to see when he won in 2016 what he was gonna do. I was like, okay, we've had 8 years of Obama and he did an amazing job. Okay, you can't fix all of America's problems, you can't fix all of the world's problems, okay? It's super, super unrealistic. But he did what he could with the time that he had, okay? And Biden was his vice president at that time. So, I was curious. I said, okay, well, let's see what the Republicans will do, okay? It can't always be Democratic. Let's see what, the Republicans will do this time. Ooh. One disaster after another. And, besides calling Africa or cities and countries in Africa generally as shitholes, then I was like, yeah, this guy, he's not going to get a second term. So, yeah, he pretty much, really kind of outruled his welcome in America and in the presidency in general. And with COVID-19 hitting this year and the other mistakes that he made, yeah, okay. So now, instead of really just taking a graceful exit, this guy is sitting, he does not want to leave now, okay? And there are rumors that he's not going to actually concede the defeat, which can cause some problems and delays, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to claim that there was election fraud. I don't think it's going to be enough to actually get him to stay and get a second term. I just don't see that happening. And if not, it's actually going to further tensions in the country, and it's sad that, despite being a talented businessman and weird, he'll really have quite a negative legacy attached to him when it comes to the US presidency. So I think he should just bow out in grace. And funny enough, I actually dreamt Biden won. Here's my post, okay? 3 days. I think I'd say probably when voting began. The second day after that, I took an afternoon nap and I won. I dreamt that Biden had won. And it was a weird dream. It didn't quite make sense. I saw blue lights. I saw him making a speech. And people being very happy. And then I woke up. I think my alarm went off. Then I quickly had to go to the shops and run some errands. So I was like, okay. So I just decided, win or lose, let's see. And he won, yay! Okay, but there could have been a 50% chance that he would have lost. So either way, okay. So that's just my little 2 cents on the matter. But I think as it is right now, Trump just needs to accept that he's lost and gracefully bow out, okay? He needs to congratulate President-elect Biden, who only gets sworn in next year, in January, and Kamala Harris as well. And just, bow out. And then later on write a book, and he can carry on then. Most likely he'll probably get his network now, I think. I don't know if it is legal. I think there's certain types of rules and laws that ex-presidents have to follow. Okay, so you might have to actually wait a couple of years before you can actually say anything. I'm really happy for America, and I genuinely believe that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris really will bring some semblance of dignity and respect to the US presidency, because for a long while it's kind of been the laughingstock of the whole world, which is not nice, I think the whole planet should win. Everybody should win. We should all work together. And well, that's just my 2 cents. But that's a discussion for another time. I think steadily as time goes by, the world will steadily head towards just being planet Earth instead of just being countries. And especially when these guys start to pop over. Alright, so another thing also I wanted to address is, so since Biden has won, right, and he'll be sworn in as president next year, what does that mean for South Africa, or Africa in general? I would say that it's actually good. President Ramaphosa was also there. He was quick to go in and congratulate Biden and Kamala Harris on their victory. But I think in general, relations between America, South Africa, and Africa in general will be much better. And it won't be so harsh, it won't be so volatile. And and I think the open racists are not going to get scared back into the little holes where they belong. And we can definitely expect political relations that are much less strained and hostile. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next drama-filled episode, or whatever happens next. Who knows?